Good day, everyone. Ali Safi here, Safi Financial Network, October 18, 2025. All right, here is another weekly wrap. So we are going to go through major indexes, gold and silver and crude oil in this video. Next video, I'm going to go through all individual stocks that I usually cover in daily and weekly analysis. All right, stay tuned. Let's go to S&P 500 weekly chart. So as you see here, weekly chart, we are in an uptrend channel here, and we are at this top of this channel. So usually when we get there, we are getting into consolidation phase or corrective phase. But right now you see that market is overstretched, overbought. Anyway, if you want to slice it and dice it, last week we got a very nice bearish engulfing at the top, but this week we didn't have a confirmation. So we need to see confirmation, but still you see that last few days. Actually, market was pretty choppy, and we still rejected this at 6,700. And weekly, we got below 6,700 and we close at 66.72. If we get to indicators, those are telling me that the warning sign is here. First of all, the RSI actually is losing the momentum. And you see that downtick last week. This week, we got nibble optic to the upside, but here is the momentum for MACD. MACD is sloping down here and shifting the momentum to the upside. And here's the important case. Stochastic momentum index, we got a bear reversal, but it is not confirmed yet just because we want to see this stochastic momentum index is getting out of this overbought condition. So if we get below this line, which is going to be overbought condition, then we got confirmation that market is in a corrective phase. However, if that correction happens, that would be a great buying opportunity just because I'm waiting. This one is getting to 6,500 maximum and then skyrocketing up for the next year, almost the first and second quarter of next year. I would say market is going to form the multi-decade top. So still, this is going to be a buying opportunity, but I would be cautious. And I'm just waiting for more confirmation because usually Halloween is coming and usually market seasonally goes positive after Halloween. But before Halloween, seasonality is going to be very weak. We didn't see any symptom of the weak market this year. So seasonality goes kind of like reverse this year, and we're gonna see how it goes for the next 2 weeks. I would say next 2 weeks would be a very good potential opportunity for a correction if correction wants to show itself. If it doesn't, then we're gonna change our analysis. All right. Moving on to daily chart. Daily chart, we see that market is just forming a pretty nice inside bar here. On Friday, we got kind of like a wacky day. We went all the way down to here, even we take out this October 14 and then getting back to the upside. The momentum for Friday was pretty nice to the upside. So if you see this candle, usually it's going to be a bullish. But I just want to tell you, the volume is pretty important. We got 160 million volume here on SPY. Then we got 60, 70 million, which is normal. And then 100 million, again, 100, I would say 100, 200, 3 million SPY traded on the bear side. Friday, we got 96 million to the upside. So we gotta give ourselves a question mark. Is this correction over right now based on the volume? We need to take out these shadows here. So we need to strongly go above 6,700. So keep an eye on this because if we get above 6,700 on a daily basis with a good volume, I would say the correction is over. The bottom is in. Potentially, we're going to see another potentially higher high or new all-time high. So we will see how it goes. We will see how market is going to shifting to the upside. But I would say as long as we are in this bearish candle or bear candle, we should just give market benefit of doubt for kind of like a deeper correction. Next week, we will have Tesla earnings coming and the other big techies are coming with earnings for the next few weeks. So market is kind of like getting into a volatile phase. Also, I want to cover that on the VIX index as well in the next video. You're going to see that the VIX actually just a spike up to 27 to 30, which was my maximum target. So that could be the potential ease for the volatility, and we may get back to the bull side. So again, we may see this as a correction, and correction is over, and we're going to see another potentially going to the upside that surprise everyone, or we are going to see potentially just the consolidation and deeper correction is coming to shake out everyone before the next rally potentially to the upside. So again, as long as we are in this consolidation phase, we should just give market benefit of that. Moving on to Nasdaq weekly chart, Nasdaq actually forms very better compared to the other one. You see that new closing on a weekly candle for Nasdaq, new closing all-time high. So that is very, very important for Nasdaq. Seems like Nasdaq is getting back to the bull side already. And the momentum actually just spiking up after last week, momentum just going all the way down. This week, momentum just shifting a little bit edge higher, which means momentum getting back to the bull side. And also RSI forms the better, I know. And the stochastic is just sliding down an overbought condition. It doesn't mean that we are going to get all the way down to here. So be careful for Nasdaq, because Nasdaq is the leader for the market. If Nasdaq tells us the market is going to get to back to the downside, that would be a downside. But seems like the daily actually shifting to the upside. We got pretty nice shadow here on a daily basis. It doesn't go below 24,000, and getting back to the upside, recapture SMA 20, and right now it's just getting ready for another spike potentially to this high. If we take out the all-time high, then there is going to be a blue sky on top of us, and we can go all the way up to 26,000 area. So we will see how it goes with Nasdaq. But I would say if Nasdaq goes higher, the entire market can drag up higher as well. Again, big techies earnings are coming next week, and next 2 weeks, I would say, and everyone needs to just keep an eye on them. Moving on to the Dow. Dow is the same actually as Nasdaq is doing. So Dow, we got a pretty sharp sell-off to the downside. Even we didn't get to SMA 20. We just touched this high and then getting back to the upside. So this is very, very important level for me, just because I was looking for, to be honest, Dow is getting into this box, which is going to be the institutional level, and getting back to the upside. But seems like Dow actually finished its correction as well. So that is a question mark. I tell you that potentially we got our correction. So we are kind of like seeing the mix, kind of like a signal, and I'm waiting for more price action correction to see how market is gonna show the upside move. But daily chart is the same. Daily chart, we kind of like form a very nice hammer candle here, these two hammer candle, and we need to see get above this 47,000. If we get above 47,000, seems like the correction is over. But if we get to overbought condition without making high, so that is very important. If we get into overbought condition, let me show you. If we get into overbought condition without making high, so that would be kind of like a lower high. And that would be a strong signal for another sell-off to the downside, because market finished its corrective rally, and that's going to be high, low, and this is going to be a lower high, and we are expecting for another lower low. So we will see how it goes. But if market make new all-time high, that would be finished. The correction is finished, and we're going to see a high, low, higher, higher low, and then higher high. So we're still in uptrend, and any correction could be a great buying opportunity. But this wedge already triggered. Technically, I'm looking for a more bigger downside, but it doesn't have to be that way. So we will wait for market confirmation. Moving on to gold, the rock star for the past few months. So this is gold weekly chart. Remember, we were talking about this bullish consolidation, and look what happened. Parabolic move to the upside for almost 8 weeks to the upside, and this is amazing. This is what we were looking for in a very nice technical parabolic move. Usually it comes down to SMA 20, which is going to be this level, the previous breakout zone, and then bounce back up sharply. I'm looking for that one. That would be a perfect buying opportunity for me as like a drop and pop pattern. So I'm gonna make a video for gold as well to see how it goes. But if gold goes all the way down to 3,500, 3,600, that would be a marvelous buying opportunity for multi-weeks rally after that. So we'll see how it goes. Daily chart is forming the same potentially drop and pop pattern happens in 39, 4,000 for a daily. But as I said, I'm waiting for this to go all the way down to this area, to this consolidation breakout 36, and then getting back to the upside. So I'm gonna buy gold in that levels, especially physical gold. I told my subscribers as well. Moving on to silver. Silver, we got a pretty sharp sell-off actually on daily chart Friday session. And let me show you the weekly chart here. So weekly chart, we got pretty nice topping tail here. And we can go all the way down. There are different levels. Silver hit finally new all-time high this year after, I would say, 10 years or so, 13 years. And right now, I'm just looking for this area. 39 to 40, 44, that would be great, kind of like a buying opportunity for long-term silver holder, especially if you want to buy physical or something. If you go to daily chart tells me that still we are into a corrective phase and the correction is just started. We can go all the way down to 43, 44, and that would be pretty nice scenario for silver to buy. Moving on to the last asset for this video, which is crude. Crude is forming a very bearish last few weeks. So if we go to weekly chart, we're gonna see that crude is just going all the way down, and we got into oversold condition on a stochastic. However, RSI doesn't show us, but I would say this is pretty nice, kind of like a setup for crude. So I'm just looking for this one, even if this is a dead cat bounce, we're gonna see some kind of like a bounce to the upside. Again, for crude bulls, we need to take out this 67, $70 for a nice move to $90. If you're not bull for crude, so we should see some kind of like a 50, 51 to 53. That would be the reason for being bearish, because that's going to be a kind of like a multi months buying opportunity or a bottom there. I would say crude is forming a very, very nice pattern for a pop. But this pop, actually, it's getting over my expectation because the timing is very difficult. But folks, if you just see this pattern in many stocks, many commodities, when we see something like this, when this channel breaks through to the upside, it's going to be a very sharp parabolic move to the upside. I'm just looking for, to be honest, crude get back to this area. When, I don't know, but this can happen due to armed conflict or anything that happened, geopolitical tensions, I don't know, something like this. But I would say potentially in 2026, we're gonna see a parabolic move in crude, and that happens to our chart. Moving on to the daily chart, daily is the same. So we are kind of like forming a very sharp sell-off. This is kind of like a capitulation for a short time frame. But if we get above this, I would say this is a dynamic trend line. If we get above 67, $70 for crude, that would be amazing buying opportunity because that would be a game changer for crude. Technically, we are getting over of this bearish momentum and we can go all the way up to the upside. So we will see how it goes with crude, and we will see if we get above this 67 to 70. That would be kind of like a game changer for crude and crude stocks. All right, folks, I covered everything related to this video. Again, next video, I'm going to go over NVIDIA, Tesla, big techies, Amazon, and semiconductors. Lots of good names are going to be covered in the next video. Make sure watch that one as well. Put your comments down there. Do you think correction is over? This is gonna be a buying opportunity, or we should just be cautious about any rally and we should sell or at least allocate or more cash on the side. Tell me what's your comment, and I'm gonna read that and I'm gonna just put answer as well. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend. See you on the chart. Bye bye.